11th Science Chemistry, the basic principles of organic chemistry.
Hello students, today we are going to study about the topic that is basic principles in organic chemistry. All of you studied about the organic compounds in 10th standard. Then what is organic compounds? Organic compounds are also known as carbon compounds. Carbon compounds. Then what are carbon compounds or organic compounds? Generally, organic compounds are those compounds which obtained from animals and plants. That means they are the derivatives of plants and animals. The substance which obtained from the animal and plant are called as organic compounds, which containing the main constituent, that is carbon and hydrogen, and sometimes it contains oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, or few metals are there like magnesium, calcium, sodium or potassium. Then general characteristics of carbon compounds you have already studied in 10th standard. See here, organic compounds. First, the characteristic of organic compound is it is derived from plants and animals. The main constituent of these compound is carbon and hydrogen. Sometimes it contains oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur or halogens, or sometimes it contains metals also. Then see here, generally organic compounds having low melting point and boiling point, and they are volatile in nature. They are covalently bonded molecules. Covalent bonding means it is a sharing of electron between atoms of elements to form the compounds. Covalent bonding formation takes place by sharing of electron in the atoms of elements are called as covalent bonding. Generally, organic compounds are covalent in nature. They have low melting point and boiling point. That is, they have volatile nature. Volatility of organic compound, that means the compound which having boiling point less than the 100 degrees Celsius are called as volatile in nature. The compound which having boiling point greater than 100 degrees Celsius, then those compounds are non-volatile in nature. Volatility of the organic compound is explained with few examples. That is, acetone having boiling point 56 degrees Celsius, methyl alcohol which having boiling point about 68 or 69 degrees Celsius. Then see here, carbon compounds, there are billions of organic compounds or carbon compounds are found in the nature, and we can prepare those type of compounds in the laboratory also. Then what are the examples of that organic compounds? Generally, these organic compounds are found in the cells of animals and plants. The cell, it is made up of organic compounds. That is cell membrane, which is made up of lipid bilayer. That means the cell, animal cell or plant cell. The cell membrane which consists of lipid bilayer. There are these molecules are of lipids. Lipids are nothing but these are organic compounds or carbon compounds. Then there are sometimes proteins are there. Then proteins, which is also is the example of organic compound or carbon compound. There are protoplasm, that is liquid present in the cell, in animal cell or plant cell. That liquid also consists of different proteins, or it also consists of carbohydrate. And carbohydrate which is present, that is carbohydrates are also known as sugars, which is also carbon compounds. Then there is a nucleus present in the center of cell, and that nucleus consists of, that is chromosomes, and chromosomes are made up of DNA and RNA. That is DNA and RNA. These DNA or RNA having complex structure, which is also the examples of organic compounds. These are nothing but organic compounds. And there are a lot of, the cell itself is organic compound. Therefore, animal and plants, they are also organic substances or organic things. Then see here, there are a lot of things which is found in the nature are also organic. It is made up of organic compound. That is food which we eat daily life, which contains carbohydrate, is an organic compound. Carbohydrate, example of carbohydrate is, carbohydrate means sugars, all type of sugars, that is sucrose, which is present in cane sugar. Then glucose, we eat, we drink it for energy. That glucose is the example of carbohydrate. Sucrose, fructose is the example of carbohydrate also. These all are the organic compounds. Proteins, the casein present in the milk, keratin, which is present in the hair or nail, is called is proteins, which is a organic compounds. Then vitamins, all of you are aware of that. Vitamin A, vitamin B, that is B complex, vitamin C, vitamin D, all these are the organic compounds. The hormones which is secreted in our glands, in the glands of living organism, and the hormones which is secreted is also organic compounds. The enzymes which carried out the different biological process within the cells of animal and plants are also, these are also organic compounds. Then the cloth which we wear and use in daily life, these cloths are of nylon type, cotton type or polyester. These different types of cloths is also, it is a organic compound. Then the different compounds, that is plastic or melamine, crockery, which is prepared in the laboratory, these are also organic compounds. Oil, food, vitamins, hormones, enzymes, these all are the carbon compounds. Then see here, the one more thing, most of these organic compound is the hydrocarbons. That means, what is hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbon, the name itself indicates, hydro means hydrogen, carbon means carbon. The name itself indicates that these are the carbon compounds. These are the organic compound in which the main constituent is carbon and hydrogen. That means, example of hydrocarbon, all of you aware of that, all of you studied in 10th standard, that is alkanes. There are different examples of alkanes, that is, you are aware of that CH4, which is called as methane. Then ethane, that is C2H6, which is also called as ethane. All of you learn this in 10th standard. Methane, ethane, propane, butane, these are the examples of alkane category, and all alkanes are hydrocarbons because their formula, see here, in their formula, carbon is the main constituent and hydrogen is the main constituent, isn't it? Then all of you aware of that alkenes also, alkenes, that is ethene is the first member of alkene, CH2 double bond CH2, which having formula C2H4, that is alkene, that is ethene is the first member of alkene, which having also the main constituent carbon and hydrogen is there. Therefore alkene, the examples of other alkene is propane, butane, pentene, etc. These are the examples of hydrocarbons. Alkynes, examples of alkynes, the first alkyne, that is having formula CH triple bond CH, which is known as ethine. that is the ethyl, propyl. These all are the examples of hydrocarbons. All of you learned about the essences, flavors, which is nothing but these are the esters. All of you studied the functional group present in the organic compound in 10th standard as well as in 9th standard. That is, there are different types of functional groups. Alcohols, all of you studied about that. Alcohols, examples of alcohols is alcohols, that is methyl alcohol having formula CH3OH, ethyl alcohol C2H5OH, that is ethanol. Ethanol is used as a fuel in the automobiles or vehicles. That is ethanol, methanol, propanol, propyl alcohol. These are the examples of alcohol, which are nothing but these are the hydrocarbons. And there are a lot of different categories of hydrocarbons which we will study later. Then see here alkane, alkenes, alkynes, esters, amines, aldehyde, ketones, phenols, then amines, and these all are the examples of different hydrocarbons. Then see here hydrocarbons, they have also obtained from these are the hydrocarbons. Then the main constituent of that hydrocarbon is also carbon, and therefore we will study about the versatility of the carbon. Then see here carbon is the main constituent of organic compound. It is because of carbon element which having atomic number 6. All of you know that it having atomic number 6 and which having the 6 protons in its nucleus, positively charged protons in its nucleus of atom, and around it in the orbits there are 2 electrons, and in second orbit there are 4 electrons revolving around the nucleus of an atom of an element. Then see here electronic configuration of carbon is 2,4. That means in first orbit 2 electron is there, and in second, that is last orbit. Last orbit of carbon is second orbit, and in second orbit 4 electrons are there. Therefore last orbit is also known as outermost orbit, or it is also known as valence orbit. Therefore the electron present in last orbit is known as valence electron. That means that carbon possesses 4 valence electron, and these 4 valence electron have tendency to form the covalent bond. These 4 electrons shared 1 electron with another element, atoms of another element, and because of sharing of electron between 2 atoms of 2 different atoms of different element, then it forms the covalent bond. For example, when carbon having 4 valence electron is shown like this, and this structure is known as Lewis structure of carbon. The valence Lewis structure of carbon is shown by the symbol of carbon, and around that the sign which is made that is of for valence electron, and these valence electron shares 1 electron of hydrogen. Hydrogen having atomic number 1, therefore electronic configuration of that is 1. That means it contains 1 valence electron, and that 1 valence electron shares with carbon, and sharing of 1 electron with 1 electron of carbon by hydrogen, therefore it forms a 1 covalent bond. That means there are 2 electrons. 2 electrons are called as lone pair of electrons, and lone pair of electrons shared between two different atoms of different element, it forms one covalent bond. That means in carbon it forms one covalent bond. Similarly, there is another hydrogen atom which shares one electron with carbon, and it forms again one more covalent bond with carbon. Then third electron of carbon is shared by the electron of hydrogen of third atom. Then it forms third covalent bond, and similarly one more electron which is in carbon atom, it is shared by fourth hydrogen atom, and therefore it forms one more covalent bond. See here, in the octet of carbon, there are 8 electrons. All of you studied about it, the octet rule of compound formation. What is octet rule of compound formation? Whenever element forms a compounds, during formation of compound, it tries to possess 8 electrons in its valence orbit, in its outermost orbit, and becomes stable. That means here carbon, which having 4 electrons in its outermost orbit, when it shares 4 electrons of each 4 hydrogen atom, then its octet is complete. That means it possesses 8 electrons in its octet and forms the 4 covalent bond by carbon atom. And this structure is obtained is of methane structure, that is having condensed formula CH4. That is the first organic compound of alkane class, and that is the hydrocarbon. See here, the carbon possesses 4 covalent bond in their compound. Every organic compound in which carbon possesses 4 covalent bond, whether it is single bond or it may be double bond. See here, in one more example, there is CH2 double bond CH2. That means when we see the structural formula of that, see here CH2 CH2. Here this carbon possesses 4 covalent bond, and this carbon is also possesses 4 covalent bond, and hydrogen possesses 1 covalent bond. That means here carbon is tetravalent. Carbon is tetravalent. Tetra means 4, valent means valency. That means it has tendency to form 4 covalent bond in organic compound or in all type of compounds. Therefore, it is a tetravalent. Then similarly, hydrogen is monovalent. Hydrogen is monovalent. Mono means 1. Valent means valency. That means it forms only 1 covalent bond with another element in their compounds when it forms compounds. Then see here, one more property of carbon you have learnt in the 10th standard, that is carbon has tendency to forms the covalent bonding in the different atoms of itself, the same element. That means it has tendency to form the carbon forms the covalent bond with a different atom, another atom of carbon. That means itself. That is, carbon forms the longest chain of carbon-carbon bonding, and that tendency of formation of covalent bond in different atoms of same element, that property is called as catenation property. And this property you have learned in the 10th standard. Because of that catenation property, carbon can forms millions of atoms, covalent bonding in the chain. Then and that property is called as catenation property. Due to that catenation property, millions of polymer formation, complex compounds, that is polymer. Polymer, all of you studied in 10th standard and 9th standard. Polymer means it is the longest chain of carbon which having thousands or lakhs of carbons are there in the single chain. And carbohydrate, vitamins, DNA, RNA, oils, fats, lipids, these are all are polymers. Then see here, because of the property of the catenation property of carbon, it can forms the different complex compounds as well as different types of polymers, and therefore we can found in the nature millions of billions of organic compounds in the nature. Then we will see few examples of organic compound in which already we have studied the structure of methane. Then we will study about the structural formula and condensed formula of different organic compounds. Already I have explained one of the structure of first alkane, that is methane. See here, this structure already here explained, that is known as Lewis structure, or it is known as electronic dot structure. Electronic dot structure, or it is known as Lewis structure. Lewis structure of methane. And here this structure, which is shown by bonding using dash for covalent, represented for the covalent bond present in the two different atoms, and this structure is known as Lewis dash structure of methane. Then we can draw some condensed structure and structural formula of different organic compounds, and we can also write the bond line structure for those all. Then we will see few examples of dot structure or dash, electronic dash structure or electronic dot structure, and condensed formula, structural formula and bond line formula for few organic compounds. Then see here the first member of hydrocarbon of alkane, that is methane. All of you studied in 10th and 9th standard about the different types of alkanes. That is the first member of alkane category is methane, which having condensed formula. See here, first there are different organic compounds which having the here name of organic compounds. Then having condensed formula. And then we can draw the detailed structural formula, and later we will draw these structures in bond line form, bond line structure or bond line formula. You can see here few examples we will discussing here of different organic compounds. First of all, the first example, that is methane. See here the condensed formula for that is CH4. Then one more point should be there, name of organic compounds. Then we can see the molecular formula. We can write the molecular formula for these all compounds. Molecular formula, that is CH4, is the same for methane. Then condensed formula is also same for that organic compound. Similarly, we can write the structural formula that is CH4 is the structural formula for that methane, and bond line formula we cannot write for bond line formula for methane. Then see here the next example, that is ethane. Ethane having formula that is C2H6. All of you studied that general formula for each category, that is alkane which having general formula, that is CnH2n plus 2. For alkene it is CnH2n, and for alkyne it is CnH2n minus 2. First of all, we will study detail about the alkanes. Therefore, the general formula for alkane is CnH2n plus 2, where n is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the natural numbers. Then we can get the first formula for first member of alkane, that is CH4, and having condensed formula CH4 and structural formula they are drawn here. Then see here, ethane is the second example of alkane having molecular formula C2H6. Then we can write the condensed formula for ethane, that is CH3-CH3, or we can write the same for CH3-CH3 like this. We can write the condensed formula like this or like this. Then structural formula for ethane, that is CH3, carbon-carbon bonding is there, and CH3, that is here CH3-CH3 is the structural formula for ethane. Then we can write the bond line formula by dash. Here, see here, in bond line formula only lines are used. Bond line formula, that means lines are used for bonding. We cannot write the carbon and hydrogen present in it. That means terminal end indicates there is carbon is present. At terminal end carbon is present, and all of you are aware of that carbon having valency 4. Therefore, here one valency is completed because of that dash. Therefore, to complete the other valencies, there are CH3. 3 valencies are completed by CH3. Therefore, bond line formula for ethane is just like this. Then one more example of alkane, that is propane, having molecular formula C3H8. According to this general formula, using this general formula, when we write n is equals to 3, then we can write here C3, and using the same number for this n, 2 into 3, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, therefore H8. Then we can make the molecular formula by using general formula. Then here, see here, condensed formula for propane is CH3-CH2-CH3, or we can write the same condensed formula like this, CH3-CH2-CH3 like this. Then we can draw the structural formula, that is CH3-CH2-CH3, that is the CH3-CH2-CH3. See here, 3 carbons are there and 8 hydrogen atoms are there. That is the structural formula for propane. Then we can write the bond line formula for this by using only dash structure. See here, it is a propane. Here carbon and hydrogen, we cannot write these elements or symbol of these elements present in it. But here in bond line formula, terminal end indicates there are carbon, and corner is also indicates that there are carbon. And we have to complete the valency. See here, for this carbon only one valency is completed. Therefore, to complete the valency, we can write CH3 here. To complete the valency here, we can write CH3, and here 2 valencies of middle carbon is completed. Therefore, we can write CH2 here. That means CH3, CH2, CH3. See here, CH3, CH2 and CH3 is the formula of propane. Then, therefore, we can write the bond line structure for propane is like this, using only bonds. Then, one more example we will study, that is butane. Butane is the next member which having carbon 4, C4H10. Then, see here we can write the condensed structural formula, that is CH3, CH2, CH2 and CH3. Focus here, the terminal ends of the structures of alkane is nothing but it is a methyl group. All of you learn the methyl group, that is R group present in the organic compound. Methyl group, ethyl group, propyl group, isopropyl group, tertiary butyl group. These are the examples of R group. Then see here at terminal end, CH3, CH3 are there, and CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3 is the condensed structural formula for butane. Then we can write the structural formula for it, that is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, and we can write or draw the bond line structure for butane, that is there are zigzag line. See here at terminal end carbon is there, at corner carbon is there, at this corner carbon is there, and at terminal CH3 is there. Here also CH3 is there, and the terminal, the middle carbon which having completed 2 valencies. Therefore, to complete the valency 4, valency of carbon is 4. To complete the valency of this carbon, CH2. To complete the valency of this carbon, CH2. Therefore, the condensed formula for butane is used like this. Then see here we can write the molecular formula using general formula of that category or that class of hydrocarbons. From molecular formula we can write the condensed formula for every organic compound, and we can draw the structural formula for the same organic compound, and we can draw the same organic compound in bond line form. Then there are few more examples of organic compounds which we will draw their molecular formula, condensed formula, structural formula and bond line formula, and I will give few examples for your homework. Then write the condensed formula, structural formula, molecular formula and bond line formula for next 4 alkanes. The next 4 alkanes, all of you learn these in 10th standard. That is next to the butane, that is pentane, hexane, heptane, nonane, and last one, that is 10th alkane is decane. Then write the structural formula, condensed formula and bond line formula from pentane to decane. That is for homework. Thank you.